Hello, I'm Sally, and welcome to my YouTube channel, Sally Wright. Okay, I'm going to start a Mississippi pot roast. I bought 2 roasts. They were on sale. They look pretty good. They're all bright red. And I've got a wedge of butter. I have a pack of ranch seasoning, and I have a pack of onion soup mix, and 2 bouillon cubes. You can use beef broth, chicken broth, whatever you want, whatever your heart's desire. I've got my crock pot here. You can also do this in the oven or on the stovetop. It's whatever whatever your heart feels like doing. So I'm going to plug in my, lift this up. Yeah, I need to clean my crock pot, don't I? Select, that's low, that's high. I'm going to select high, and I'm going to let this go for about 4, maybe 5 hours, and then I'm going to add potatoes and carrots to it. That's more of a traditional roast, but I'm going to go ahead and start this. Start my seasonings. Oh yeah, I forgot. Pepperoncinis. Yes, I forgot about that. There's more than one way to make a roast. I've also done my take on Pot Roast Diane. Check that out. I think it was one of Rachel Ray's and Emerald Lagasse's videos. It was awesome. I make roast like that, but I don't have any brandy, so, and I didn't feel like going and getting any, so, but anyway, there's my, for crying out loud, ranch seasoning mix. This is my onion soup mix. And I'm going to add a little bit of water to this and stir it around. Kind of get this all right, get that like that, and I'm gonna start with some water in my crock pot, just okay, about like that. One of my large cups, about maybe 3/4 of the way full, and get this started in my crock pot. With a couple of bouillon cubes. You can use whatever broth you want. Beef, chicken, vegetable, whatever you have, pork. And if you make your own broth, that rocks. That's the best. But I kind of quit making my own broth. But it is better. The quality's better and such. So these away. Now, I'm going to move this over. Make that a plate. Now, there's a lot of controversy on rinsing or washing the meat. And it's whatever you feel people judge each other for it. I'm going to rinse mine, any old blood or anything off of it. Any funk. These look pretty clean though. One is definitely bigger than the other. And now the one thing I don't do that a lot of people do is I don't pat them dry. But I'm not going to brown them. Now if I browned them, I would pat them dry, but they're going straight in. I really don't feel like messing with them, so I wish I had more of a workspace. Set this up here for now. Move this over. I'm going to show you what I do, how I do this. My 2 beef bouillon cubes are in there. They're starting to melt. The water's not warm yet though, but I'm just going to move these around. And the roasts will actually start to make their own juices. So I'm just going to set these in here. Set that like that. They're in there. Nice and I'm going to wash my hands real quick. Just kind of rinse them off. Wash your hands after handling raw meat. You get that especially if you've ever worked in a restaurant with an inspector watching your every move, watching every little thing you do, marking everything down in like a notebook or on an electronic tablet or cell phone, marking every little thing you do down. And I like making this as like getting everything wet, and adds a little dab more water to that, get all that out of there. Now the pepperoncinis. And I'm going to use a little dab of the brine and a few of the rings. I don't really like the flavor of the rings, but I like the flavor of the brine. My husband gets mad at me because I will use the brine before I ever use up the pepperoncinis. Pepper, well, this just says banana pepper rings, Mike. I always thought of them as pepperoncinis. So, and of course, last but not least, this is like maybe 3/4 of a stick of butter. Just place that on top. It will naturally melt down over everything else. Here's my lid. And I'm going to let this go probably for about 4 hours where it's technically done, but it won't be done exactly. I'm going to pick out the pepper rings and take the meat out and cut it up into smaller pieces like kind of like stew meat. Then I'm going to add carrots and potatoes. So, but see, you can let it go and it'll get tender enough to fall apart, but it falls apart with the grain. Let me shut that off. It falls apart with the grain. That's what I don't like. I don't like the long strings. And my mama never did either. She never did. But that's going to be supper tonight. And I was glad I was able to get this done. I'm getting a little better about working around my own space and stuff. So, this is my crock pot. Got it started. I'm going to let this go 4, maybe 5 hours. And then fish out the roasts and cut them up into pieces. So, then I'm going to add carrots and potatoes to them. And I'm just going to let them finish out for about another probably hour and a half to 2 hours. The meat should be good and tender. After about 6 hours, this should be so fork tender, just tender enough to fall apart. And I'm going to add carrots and potatoes. And I'm going to have some of that delicious bread. I actually decided to put it in the fridge. The balls of dough I made yesterday, put them in the fridge, and there they are. And they will sit and they will start to cook. And I'm going to have a delicious meal in about 7 hours. So, but I'm gonna bake that bread tonight. Have roast, carrots, potatoes, and bread. Hopefully the bread works out. So you have a wonderful evening. I'm not even sure what time it is, but I'm gonna get a few other things done. This is going to be delicious. And I'll be back. Hopefully, I'll be back in about 5 hours. So we'll talk to you later. Thank you for watching, and you have a wonderful evening.